Today, we're diving into the fascinating history of the 1937 Liberty Wheat Penny, a small copper coin that carries with it incredible stories of America's past, the artistry of coinage, and the excitement of coin collecting. By the end of this video, you'll see why this coin is so special, and how some rare varieties can reach impressive values among collectors. The 1937 Wheat Penny belongs to the famous Lincoln Wheat Cent series, which was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the very first U.S. coin to feature a real person, breaking away from symbolic figures like Lady Liberty, designed by Victor David Brenner. The coin's obverse shows a striking portrait of Abraham Lincoln. On the reverse, two stalks of wheat frame the words 1 cent, which is why collectors fondly call it the Wheat Penny. The year 1937 was a time of recovery for the United States as the nation slowly climbed out of the Great Depression. Coins from this period were essential in everyday life, often circulating heavily through small purchases, groceries, and wages. The penny was made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it its rich brown or reddish appearance. This alloy would remain standard for wheat pennies until World War II, when the 1943 steel penny briefly replaced copper for the war effort. The San Francisco Mint, as each mint left its unique footprint on the coin, making certain mint marks more desirable. The Philadelphia Mint struck the largest number of 1937 cents, making them the most common. Denver and San Francisco issues were produced in lower quantities, giving them extra appeal to collectors. The total mintage for all 1937 pennies exceeded 309 million pieces. While this makes the coin common in circulated condition, high-grade specimens, especially with mint red luster, can command very high values. Collectors are especially drawn to the San Francisco 1937 penny. It had the lowest mintage among the three, although still not a rare coin. Finding it in pristine condition can be challenging. Like other wheat pennies, the 1937 coin reflects the artistry of early 20th century coin design. Brenner's depiction of Lincoln is lifelike yet symbolic, capturing the president's thoughtful gaze. Interestingly, many 1937 wheat pennies are found with a range of natural colorations, from deep brown to vibrant red. The redder the coin, the higher the value, as it indicates less oxidation over time. One of the most thrilling aspects of the 1937 wheat penny is the possibility of discovering mint errors. Collectors always hunt for unusual varieties, as errors can multiply a coin's value. Some coins were struck with off-center errors, where the design is shifted noticeably away from the center. These are popular finds and highly collectible. The 1937 wheat penny reflects a fascinating era in American history. It was struck during the latter years of the Great Depression, a time when every cent carried weight for families struggling to survive. For many, these pennies were more than coins, they were lifelines, used to purchase bread, milk, or basic necessities. Minted in three locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The 1937 penny offers collectors a wide range of mint mark varieties. Each mint tells a slightly different story of production, quality, and demand during that year, making the coin's legacy even richer. The obverse of the coin, featuring Abraham Lincoln's profile, symbolized national unity during tough economic times. By 1937, Lincoln's image had already become a powerful emblem of perseverance, justice, and the hope for recovery. The reverse design, known as the wheat ears, represented American agriculture and prosperity. The simple wheat stalks were not just decorative, they were symbolic of the nation's backbone, the farmers and workers who fueled the economy. One of the most exciting aspects for collectors is the existence of mint errors from 1937. Some coins were struck with double dies or off-center impressions, making them extremely valuable today. Such mistakes were rare but are now highly sought-after treasures. The Philadelphia Mint produced the largest number of 1937 pennies, which makes them the most common. However, well-preserved Philadelphia coins in high grades can still fetch impressive prices in auctions. Denver's 1937 pennies often appear sharper in strike compared to Philadelphia issues. Collectors often prize the D-mint versions for their strong details and durability, especially when found in uncirculated condition. San Francisco's 1937 penny, though produced in smaller numbers than Philadelphia, is not considered rare. Still, pristine specimens are beloved by collectors and hold significant historical and sentimental value. Over the decades, the 1937 penny became a nostalgic keepsake for many Americans. People born that year or those who grew up in the 1930s, often held onto the coin as a symbol of resilience during hard times. Today, the 1937 Liberty Wheat penny is a popular choice for beginners and advanced numismatists alike. It is both accessible and historically significant, bridging the gap between common circulation coins and valuable collectibles. The coin also reflects technological advances in minting. By 1937, the U.S. Mint had mastered large-scale penny production, yet human errors still slipped through, creating valuable rarities that thrill modern-day treasure hunters. Collectors often compare the 1937 penny to earlier Lincoln cents of the 1910s and 1920s, while earlier issues may be scarcer. The 1937 penny carries a charm of its own because it was minted just before World War II reshaped America. Interestingly, the copper-used wheat penny is part of the famous Lincoln Wheat Cent series, which was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it became the first circulating U.S. coin to feature the portrait of an actual person, breaking away from the long-standing tradition of using allegorical figures like Lady Liberty. The early 20th century, the U.S. Mint sought to modernize its coinage. By 1909, Lincoln's image was chosen for the 1-cent coin, replacing the Indian head cent. The reverse carried to stalks of wheat, symbolizing prosperity and national agricultural heritage, which gave it the name wheat penny or wheat cent. The time the 1930 issue was struck, the United States was in the early years of the Great Depression. Economic hardship affected coin production and circulation patterns, but the cent remained an essential coin for everyday transactions. Features: a right-facing bust of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. The word liberty appears to the left, while the date 1930 is to the right. Above Lincoln's head is the national motto, "In God We Trust." Two stylized wheat ears curve along each side, framing the denomination 1 cent and the country name United States of America. The motto "E pluribus unum" appears at the top. The 1930 wheat penny was produced in 3 locations. Philadelphia Mint. No mint mark largest mintage. These numbers are high compared to rarer dates. Coins in high mint state grades remain valuable to collectors. This alloy was standard for U.S. cents from 1909 until mid-1942, when steel cents were introduced due to World War II copper shortages. The 1930 wheat penny circulated during a time of economic downturn from the Great Depression, reduced consumer spending but heavy coin circulation. The penny retained strong purchasing power, worth more than 20 times its modern equivalent in buying power. Collectors value the 1930 wheat penny based on condition: circulated versus uncirculated, color designation for uncirculated coins: red road, red brown RBN, brown BN, high grade mint state red, MS65 or higher. Examples, especially from San Francisco, are scarce and command premium prices. High grade MS66 red examples can exceed 200, and rare top pop coins can go higher at auction. 1930 was one of the last years before the U.S. Mint made subtle changes to Lincoln's portrait in 1934. Despite the Great Depression, no major mintage cuts occurred for the 1930 cent, reflecting its necessity in everyday transactions. Some examples have been found with die cracks or double die obverse errors, which significantly increase collector interest and value. The 1930 Liberty Wheat penny stands as a reminder of America's resilience during economic hardship. It's a tangible piece of history from an era when a penny could still buy small goods, and its simple, enduring design continues to capture the hearts of coin collectors worldwide. The 1955 wheat penny as a cornerstone of American numismatics. It is often used as an example in coin books and guides to illustrate how minting errors can create some of the most valuable coins in history. The doubling is so pronounced that even beginners can identify it, making it accessible to new collectors, while still being a prized possession for experts. Now when it comes to value, this is where things get exciting. On platforms like eBay, prices for the 1955 double-die penny can vary dramatically depending on condition. Circulated examples often fetch hundreds to thousands of dollars, while uncirculated or high-grade examples, certified by grading companies, can sell for tens of thousands of dollars. At major auctions, pristine specimens have even exceeded $50,000, making it one of the most lucrative pennies ever released by the U.S. Mint. What makes the market so active for this coin is not just rarity, but also popularity. It's one of those coins that every collector dreams of owning at least once, which keeps demand alive year after year. Even collectors, who normally don't specialize in pennies, often make an exception for the 1955 double die simply because of its iconic status. If you've ever come across a 1955 wheat penny, it's worth checking closely. Even regular 1955 pennies in uncirculated condition can bring in more than face value, but the double die version is the real jackpot. Imagine finding one tucked away in an old coin jar, passed down through family, or hidden in a forgotten collection. As for selling, many collectors turn to platforms like eBay, heritage auctions, and Stacks Bowers, where the demand is always strong. Certified coins from grading companies like PCGS or NGC often bring the highest prices because buyers are assured of authenticity. So, if you happen to own one of these, it could be a life-changing discovery. Like I mentioned earlier, this coin might just turn the tables for you. But here's the twist: rather than giving away the exact value right now, I want you to comment the word price in the comment box below, and I'll personally tell you its current market value and guide you on the best way to sell it for maximum profit. This way, not only will you learn what your 1955 Liberty wheat penny is worth, but you'll also discover how to turn this small piece of copper into a significant payout. So make sure you drop a comment, because the journey of this coin isn't just about history,